Mercury is diving into a full-on fiery retrograde, where your desires are up for a serious scrub down. This isn't your average Mercury retrograde. It's happening in Sagittarius, the sign of truth, big ideas, and bold action. So what are you really thinking? How do you communicate, and who are you relying on to help you get where you need to go? The energy is asking some tough questions. What type of learning or growth is necessary for your next step? Maybe, just maybe, it's time to lighten up and stop taking everything so seriously. The Sabian symbol for Mercury's retrograde station is immigrants entering, signaling that change is not just coming, it's here. Physically, energetically, and consciously. It's the work we do in our faith, values, and self that gives us the courage to adapt and settle into this change. Now more than ever, it's crucial to know who you are at your core and to let curiosity guide you as you explore new ways of being. Here's where things get interesting. Mercury's retrograde is patterned, meeting with Jupiter and Saturn in some very untraditional ways. Mercury's direct retrograde pattern is typical, but Jupiter and Saturn? They're shaking things up. Jupiter is in retrograde for all three of its meetups with Mercury, while Saturn moves from retrograde to direct and stays direct. This adds a unique twist to the retrograde's theme: change and how you handle it. Mercury's opposition to Jupiter retrograde in Gemini happens 3 times during this retrograde. And it's not just any opposition, it's mutual reception. These two are trading energies in a big way. Expect a powerful pulse in these oppositions. November 18th, December 4th, and December 26th. But that's not all. Mercury also squares Saturn in Pisces 3 times, once with Saturn retrograde on November 12th, and twice with Saturn direct on December 6th and 27th. To top it off, there are 2 sextile meetups with Venus, and in the middle of all this, Jupiter retrograde squares Saturn, adding to the tension and growth to these themes. So what does all this mean? It's time to reevaluate your beliefs, perspectives, and desires. This retrograde isn't just about communication hiccups, it's about deep introspection. Mercury in Sagittarius is bold, philosophical, and unafraid of the truth, while Jupiter in Gemini wants to expand your ideas, though it sometimes goes overboard. When they're in opposition, you'll feel the tension between your need for truth and your tendency to overthink or over-communicate. Now, add in the squares to Saturn in Pisces, which force you to ground your lofty ideas with structure and discipline. Squares bring growth through tension, and these squares? They'll challenge your communication, ideas, and need for clarity. The first asks you to review your past beliefs and responsibilities. It's a time to restructure old patterns. With both planets direct, the second square shows us it's time to align your thoughts with reality and take action, even if it feels frustrating. The third and final square solidifies the lessons of the retrograde, helping you put new structures and disciplines into practice. Throughout this period, you'll be asked to look back at past decisions and communications and reflect on how you can grow. Don't be surprised if the lessons come from unexpected places. Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius is a time to revisit what truly matters to you and how you can use that clarity to propel yourself forward.